Hi there, my name is Melinda and I'm a Sephora team member. Today I'm going to show you my complexion routine using the all new Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez collection. It is beautiful, you're going to love it. Before we jump in, first thing I want to call out is my biggest obsession about this brand. I personally am a self-proclaimed mental health advocate. I love talking about it. All of my friends and family are probably sick of it, but it's really important to me, and it is to Selena Gomez too. So I just feel so passionate about what she's doing. So the brand basically has put together a Rare Impact Fund, and the brand's goal is to raise $100 million in the next 10 years in order to help underserved communities kind of bridge the gap of services that they are offered in mental health. Seeing any beauty brand that looks at beauty as something that is not just on the outside but also what's on the inside is so powerful and wonderful, and I want to support it, and these products are incredible. So let's jump in and I'll show you why I love them. So the first step is, of course, to prime. I have dry skin, so that's really important to me. I think it should really be important to everyone, but this one in particular is beautiful. Of course, it's from Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez, and it's the Always An Optimist Illuminating Primer. I wish I was always an optimist. I feel like I'm not always an optimist. I try to be positive. Sometimes I'm a realist, and sometimes I'm a mess. So maybe this primer will help remind me to be more positive every morning when I'm putting it on. This is a really beautiful formula because it's so radiant. And if you've watched me film any complexion videos on this channel, you know that I like to joke about filling an entire pool with highlighter and jumping inside of it. And I would probably do that with this primer. Just because, like, look already what kind of glow that's given me. That's no foundation, that's no highlighter. This stuff, it just smooths and perfects, and it makes you look like a glowy disco ball in the best way. All right, so let's be real. The star of the show is by far the foundation. I'm obsessed. This is so good. So, okay, let me start with the name. It's obviously from Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez, and this is the Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. It is exactly what it says. It is weightless. And I have always used these like medium to full coverage foundations because I want like a natural look, but I want really thin layer. And those medium to full coverage foundations give you the pigment for the coverage, but you just put a really little bit on so it feels light. It's all these tricks. This does that for you. This has the coverage you want, but the weight that you don't want. It feels virtually like you're wearing nothing, which I love. So I'm gonna be using the shade 210N. N is neutral. Make sure you go online and check out our shade finder tool. It's really helpful in finding what foundation shade you might match to. You can just plug in what you've used in the past from another brand, and it'll tell you what you might be in this brand, which is exactly what I did. So it has this awesome chubby doe foot, which is just my favorite for applying makeup. I think it makes it more fun. So I'm just gonna swipe a little bit of this on. So now that I put it on my face, I'm gonna go in with the brush because they made this just for the foundation, and I don't wanna, you know, upset Selena Gomez, so I'm gonna use the brush. This is the Liquid Touch Foundation brush from Rare Beauty, and I really love it because it has this like beautiful curved shape. So the tip here you can use to get into the crevices of places and then blend and buff with the rest. So going in, I just started with a sheer layer, and that's really what they ask you to do with this foundation, the way it was formulated. You want to start with a sheer layer. It's so light that you won't barely even feel that sheer layer. Like, it actually blows my mind. It feels like I'm rubbing around nothing on my face in the best way. But you can tell that I'm getting pigment and coverage, covered up my redness very quickly, which I love. And then if you want to build this kind of medium coverage to full coverage, then you'll add another layer, which in my opinion is the best way to apply any makeup because you can always add, but it's very difficult to take it away. So just to show you how it layers, I'm gonna pop on a little bit more in some of my areas where I feel like my makeup comes off a little easier, I have a little more redness. Now this formula almost is like a serum-like base, which feels incredible. It almost feels like a skincare product you're putting on. And you'll notice it's almost like layering skincare. Like if you were to layer 2 types of serums, it just disappears. And then whatever you have left on your brush, remember we brought that primer down onto the neck. Just helps to make sure your tone looks consistent. But I probably shouldn't talk when I go like that. All right, I think we're good. I'm just gonna check the mirror real quick. Nah, girl, this is good. All right, I could almost stop here because the foundation does so much, you almost don't even need to wear concealer, but I love a little concealer under my eye just to kind of wake me up a bit. So I'm going in with the Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez, and this is the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer. And that's exactly what I'm gonna use it for, just a little brightening. I'm using the shade 190W. Let's see what this looks like. I'm also going to use the concealer brush that was created especially for this. This is the Liquid Touch Concealer Brush from Rare Beauty. Again, it has like a really nice curved top to it. Really good for getting under the eye. I mean, I could use that for spots anywhere on my face. This is kind of like a multi-purpose brush. So let's just blend out what I've added here and see if it looks okay. So I'm just using a light patting motion under my eye. You don't want to be too rough. That skin's a little more delicate. The other really great thing about these brushes are that the bristles are synthetic, which just works best with this formula type. It doesn't place too much on your skin, kind of picks up what you don't need. All right, so this is gonna be an actual good test for us all because I don't usually wear blush. So I tried this one and I'm really into it. I wanna see what you all think. Again, it's from Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez, and this is the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush. I love the name because it makes me think of my grandma. She would just pinch her cheeks to get a little bit of flush, you know, that natural flush. And that's what she always told me to do. So the name of this is just so cute and it makes me think of her. So I'm just putting a little bit from the doe foot on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm gonna use this really cool sponge. This is the Liquid Touch Multitasking Makeup Sponge, and that is exactly what it is. There are so many sides to it that I feel like you could do any task, really. You wanna wet the sponge completely and then just press out any excess water. See how much it expanded on that side because I wet it? That's so funny. But I'm gonna use the rounded side just to press this in. It's not too much pigment. This is not intimidating. One of the reasons I avoid blush is because I'm just like, oh, there's too much room for disaster. Not the case here. Look at how easily that just like pressed into my skin. I am really impressed with this. I think it looks very pretty. I'm absolutely in Bliss, which is the shade name. Bliss is the color I used. Highlighter! Highlighter! Now for my favorite step, highlighter. This is Rare Beauty, and this is the Positive Light Liquid Luminizer Highlight. And I'm going to be using the shade Enchant. There are 8 shades of this highlighter. This one's like a little bit more of a pinky tone with some like light golden underneath it. I'll show you just quickly on my hand with a bit more of it before I put it on my face so you can really get an idea of what it looks like. So look at how reflective that is. So that's like, you know, a heavy swatch, but when you blend it out, and of course you'll see it blended out on my face, but I wish you could feel this. Like I wish you could reach your hand into your screen and feel this formula because it's awesome. It just is weightless. I think that's my key word for everything in Selena's entire brand assortment. It's weightless. And honestly, when you live in 90-degree LA weather, I couldn't ask for more. So I'm gonna use my finger to apply this on top of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, all that good stuff. So let's start here. I like to get my cheekbone just below where your socket kind of like falls down and starts to lift. You wanna get it at the tip top, the highest point of your cheekbone. Do the other side. Just going down the bridge of my nose. Okay, how's this looking? Do we want more? Just a little more. Something I like to do is cocktail my highlighter with my foundation. So if you were to mix this and this together and then apply it at once and then just do targeted highlighting afterwards, you would be glowing the gods could see you, you would be glowing that much. So I feel like all of the foundation and concealer has settled down really nicely. Sometimes if I'm doing like a full day of activities, I will do some targeted setting, just a little setting powder under my eyes, around my nose. I have pretty dry skin and I feel like this sets so well on its own. I'm not even gonna bother today, but I am gonna go in with a setting mist that Selena created because it feels so good to spray on. This is the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist 4-in-1 Prime and Set Mist. So we're just very optimistic about priming and setting. I love this packaging. I think it's so chic that it's clear. I haven't seen that. And the mister is really subtle. So you'll see when I kind of spray, it doesn't come out too much and it smells glorious. Like I just want to spray this on all day. But what I love about any spray that is good for priming and setting is that if you're traveling or you just don't want to bring as much with you and you kind of want to do a lazy routine, which I'm all about, you can kind of get 2-in-1 for this. So I used it for setting. It's also good for priming. So it's ultra fine. It just adds to my glow. I feel like it sets my makeup well, keeps me looking dewy. It also has niacinamide in it, which is a great good for your skin ingredient, just really helps with the overall appearance of your skin. So you know that you're getting a little extra boost while you're just putting on your makeup. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really hope that you try some of these out. If anything, try out the foundation. It's so good. Let me know in the comments below what you're most excited to try out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.